Baruch Hashem, we're almost at the end of the book, and I was gonna say, let's not, but this is the most juicy part apparently. I didn't even know. Yeah. We're on page 313. 313, we said yesterday, the whole purpose of getting married is to enable you to truly get to work on improving your own character. Meaning you get married in order to improve your character. And that's a very important thing to know. Why? Because unfortunately, everybody what he's doing? I'm improving your character. She's improving your character. It's not correct.
That's what usually they say when you get married.
Uh-huh.
The wife helps you, you help her, no?
To do what?
To help elevate yourself.
To help elevate yourself. You said it right. To help elevate yourself. You know what we're doing? We're helping elevate her. She's helping elevate you. No. Why? Because what? No, because he didn't read the mirror concept. Because look, when you're telling her, listen, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. You hear? Meaning, if it bothers you, it's your problem. It's not her problem, it's your problem. If balagan bothers you, it means you have to take care of yourself and calm yourself in order for that not to bother. Why is that? Because that's how you build yourself. You were here yesterday, no? Were you here yesterday? The tennis example? Yeah. Back and forth. But how back and forth? Not back and forth. Chirik, tarak, chirik. No. Left, right, high, low. Right? That's how you're going to become the best player. You understand? So yesterday, this is a very important line that we have to understand that what? We get married in order to fix our character. She has to also understand that she has to fix her character. Yeah, at the end of the day, yes, you're in control, but she also, there's sometimes going to be things that are called hiccups, I call them hiccups, yeah? And in the hiccups, she has to understand that what? That she has to work on herself. Now, again, we are not supposed to be there to tell her, you have to work on yourself. No. The ladies, Bezat Shem, somehow, Bezat Shem, we're going to find somebody to teach the ladies that, listen, you also have to work on your own character because they have to improve their character as well. Yeah.
But do they really need to work on their character?
Yes, because I'll tell you why. We are the leaders, right? But at the end, they have a certain character they have to, they have to follow by. Now, again, things go wrong, right? Yeah, things go wrong. Do I have to sit and hold on to it? No. Things went wrong. He understood he's wrong. Yeah. He apologized. He's going to work on it. We got to move on. You cannot stick, So that's also it's called working on your character. The character of I'm gonna no, let it go, It's okay. Yeah, he's shaking his head. No, because women hate to let go. You understand? Unfortunately, okay, the mistake was done. Why carrying it for 3 days? Why having the sour face? As I explained yesterday to a certain individual, I said, listen. The mistake was done. Why are you letting him affect you? Why? Because, okay, he did a certain action that now you're upset at. Why are you upset? I said, you have to keep your equilibrium.
A woman.
Anyone, woman, man, anyone. Why? If I said something to him, right? If I said something to him that offends him, why does he have to break his equilibrium? Why does he have to get upset at me? He shouldn't. He doesn't. He should be bothered by that. Okay, but maintain his equilibrium. He has to be happy. He has to go on with life. He said this to him. It's okay. He could say whatever he wants to say. If we're gonna get upset at everything everybody says, we're not gonna function as normal human beings.
This is not everybody. This is your wife.
I understand that. I understand.
When she speaks, she knows how to press.
Very good. Very good. So now, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about now her. There was a situation where now he did certain thing. I said, okay, he's wrong. We're going to talk to him about it. And he's going to understand his wrongness. But why do you have to dwell in it and now, Don't be woodpecker. Don't be woodpecker. I like that. Woodpecker. Tuck, 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 tuck. Work on it. You understood it. So move on. Next. I said, it shouldn't detract from you to set the table nicely. Come, Janima, eat. It shouldn't. Why? Because now you show him your womanness. That I'm not going to let that affect me.
it defeats the whole.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because he, at the end of the day, he is going to understand what he did wrong. You know when he's going to understand? What he's going to understand when you hold on to your equilibrium. But if you break down, no, he's going to break down.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I come to the show every day.
Yeah.
You tell, hey, little Boris.
Yeah.
Hey, little Boris.
Okay, it's good.
Let's say
Yeah.
I don't like, but I don't show you. But do I have to tell you? Why
Yeah,
call
you
me
could
little Boris?
you could tell me, yeah, I don't like that.
You have to say or no?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say nicely you come to him, but you know what we do? We do what I call kindergarten games. We at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, we're still in kindergarten. You know what that means, kindergarten? I hate you, you hate me, you had you. What is this? I came to a grown man and I apologized that I said something bad to him. I apologized. I said, you know what? My bad. I don't know. If I said it, I mamish. No. I'm sorry that I said what I said. I'm sorry.
From the deep of your heart.
Yeah. You know what he says? I don't care. You Rasha, you.
When he said that, you already forgiven basically, but by that.
No, but he doesn't forgive me.
But I know, but you already asked.
But he's acting like a kindergarten. 1 second. He's acting like a kindergarten guy. And you said it to me. Okay, Jenny, I'm sorry. You imagine a grown man coming to. Okay, so now we fixed it. But what I'm trying to say is, in the marriage, we do exactly the same thing. A kindergarten. He did this to me, I'm going to do this to her. She did this to me, I'm going to do. What is this? This is not kindergarten. We older adults. We have children, we have grandchildren. We cannot act this kindergarten business.
You cannot say, hey, little Johnny. You can't say to him the same thing.
No, because now you're acting kindergarten. You just tell him, my friend, I don't like that. I'm not little Johnny. I'm not little whatever. That's it. If he continues doing it, you know what? So he's Down syndrome for you. He's Down syndrome. You're not gonna get upset at a Down syndrome person, correct? You're not. You're gonna just let him do whatever, say whatever. It should not affect you. See, why does it affect you? Because it hurts your ego. Relax your ego. You already said it to him? Relax your ego. Here, he said, arrogance is the worst thing. Here he talks about that when a person is arrogant, he doesn't get married fast. Why? He's not good for me, she's not good for me, he's not good for me, she's not good for me, he's not good. He says, but to us, we're going to read this for a second, but to us, arrogance kills us. Why? Because we do not take the words or the actions or the mood or the thing that she says in a proper way. We let it hit our ego. Why is she talking to me like this? Why is she looking at me like this? Why didn't she show me the food? Listen, if she didn't serve you the food, that means she's upset about something. Let's discuss what you're upset about. Meaning, let's see. Just, it is vital that a man not be arrogant and picky, because ultimately they are liable to miss out on meeting their soulmate. The Stipler of blessed memory, he says, commented on the phenomenon of many older and unmarried yeshiva students. This is a sickness, he says, when those because of their excessive arrogance lose their true intended matches with their own two hands. He's talking about getting married. But in our case, we lose the mamish, the woman who was meant for us. Because of arrogance, we get divorced. Many divorces should not be divorces. Should not be divorces. You just have to work on it. It's impossible that, let's say, Rabbi says 80% divorce, 60% divorce. Usually Hashem made these. No, what?
You drop to 25, 20%.
Oh, if you remove the arrogance, absolutely. But why is that? It cannot be that Hashem messed up on all these. No, it wasn't a mess up. You remove your arrogance, and you work on the marriage. You work on the marriage. You hear? So he says, with this arrogance, you can miss your opportunity he's talking about getting married, right? But in our case, you lose a wife, you lose the kids because of arrogance. Yeah? Let's move on to 3:14. He says, the Stipler Rav also said, when our sages say that 40 days before a child's conception, a heavenly voice comes forth and proclaims that the daughter of so-and-so has to marry the son of such and such, this is not a decree which must happen. And it is not certain that they will get married. Rather, the heavenly voice proclaims that this is the right way, and she is suitable for him, and she can find he can find her with ease, and the heavenly assistance will be in his direction. You know, it says 40 years before you were incepted. 40 days, I'm sorry. 40 days before you inception, you know, which means before the sperm entered the egg. Already it says that you and your wife are going to be husband and wife. Yeah? He says, but even so, there remains free choice. We have free choice. A person through his actions can cause it to come about that he will not marry her and he will not be his. You hear what he says? So the Stipler says that you will not. Same thing over here. Because of our arrogance, because of the fact that we take the wrong choices in life, the wife that was supposed to be yours, you divorce her. I don't want her anymore. Oh, very good. So he says not necessarily. He says this is the ideal situation. The ideal situation, she's getting married to this one. It's going to be easy for you. Yes, pre-registered. So he says because of your free choice, you could miss that opportunity. Why? Because of your arrogance. So this arrogance is a very big problem.
Some men and women, they're in different like spiritual levels.
Yes.
So it says as an example, a guy's at the beach, but she's waiting.
Yes, exactly. So you could also, at different spiritual levels, also you could miss your. That's why you always have to aim to be, a Torah observant person, in order to fulfill the mission of what you're supposed to be doing. He says, it said in the name of great saintly Rabbi Eliyahu Lopian of blessed memory. He said a person's match is made according to the deeds, Anand, like he was saying, that he performs in the present, at the time of his shidduchim, and not according to his deeds of the past, and not according to deeds of the future. Rather, he is matched according to his deeds now, as he is today. This way, similarly, sometimes we did what? Our marriages, for instance, I messed up for 18 years. Yeah, I messed up. It doesn't mean that you should be continuing that. He says that your match will be given to you as your deeds today. So I want to put a little twist. If you do teshuvah and you say, wow, Hashem, I made a mistake, I want to be a better person, guess what? He automatically makes you a better wife. That same woman becomes that's why he says she'll automatically change. How is that possible?
Because he is no longer the same person.
Good. So you're going to have a divinely inspired thing where your wife is going to change. She's going to become a different person. Here? Okay. So let's go forward over here. He says, getting married without premarital instructions is tantamount of getting behind the wheel of a car without ever learning how to drive. He goes, can you imagine? Never had driving instructions. You give this person a Maserati or a Passerati or whatever, and you say, Yalla. You take him into a highway, what's going to happen? Major collision.
That's what we did.
He says, we all understand how an untrained and unlicensed driver could wreak havoc on other people's lives. You hear what he's saying? Guys, don't get lost. Listen to what he's saying. He's saying an unlicensed driver who never had an education, he's not going to only affect himself. He's going to affect all the other people around him. He says, marriage is much more complex than driving a car. Untrained people often lack understanding about the true meaning of marriage and its responsibilities. Therefore, they're prone to head-on collision with their spouses. And that's what happens to many of the marriages nowadays. I don't know how to drive, and I'm getting married. You hear? Drive, meaning I don't know. What is this woman? Says, although, listen. Yes, sir, you should.
You will be.
Yeah. Look what it says. Although the law doesn't require premarital instructions, any person with common sense would obligate himself to prepare adequate for marriage. One eats the fruits of his own proper preparation, as do all those that are and will be dependent on him. Indirectly, the whole world will benefit as well. You hear what he says? If people prepare, the whole world will be different. Your question is the $1 million question that everybody's been asking. How could it be that we're going to get married and not know anything? Can you imagine that? Yeah, I wanted to skip that. So let's go.
In my classes,
Yeah.
I'm saying, and I think I told you.
Yeah.
Did you see once a captain of an airplane?
Yeah.
Huh? Good. How long you have to be on the
Oh,
on
hours
the
and
air
hours and hours.
in order to be a captain? If you al pilot,
Do a lot.
you have to be at least 15 years in the army. Yeah, to be a pilot. And then you become co-pilot in the Boeing, co-pilot, to see what he's doing. And then after a while, you're becoming a pilot.
20 years.
So now, what is more sophisticated? Airplane or a woman?
Woman.
Why?
Too many things, too many variables.
Very simple. Airplane was made by people. She was made by God. Very sophisticated. So now, if on the airplane to be a captain you need at least 15 years to learn, so if you're going to get married, how many years you have to learn?
30, 40.
If you want to be a captain, not to be a map, a captain. Okay? So now, how about if I'll tell you, I'll give you 2 tickets first class, and you're going to go with your wife. And the manager of the flight will get on the intercom and he will say, the pilot of today is a professor, is a PhD, he has an IQ, 2,000 IQ. He has. But
Not to drive.
he never flew a plane. Are you going to stay there?
Probably jump from the
Huh?
parachute. You know, jump on the parachute.
No, he's still on the ground. Huh?
How gonna leave?
How fast? Very fast, huh? That's exactly how every chuppah looks. You have to run away.
So why people? Why don't you guys say no football for you till you take classes?
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do, and you're going to organize it. Yeah? Each one will go to a different direction. Yeah? And we're going to tackle this. We have to do it.
Like a football.
Yes, it's a must. It's a must. Because it's getting worse by the day.
I think if they read this book, he or she, then maybe take classes with them, what kind of lessons, each one of them, I think should be good.
I read the book before I got married.
Yeah.
Before they get
It's
married, read a
not,
book for
it's
the
not
requirement.
as good as being taught.
Yeah.
Then take classes with
Listen,
them,
listen to this.
Then you get Kupa.
I was gonna skip this, but this is the most. It says KETUBA over here. Now you're in business, yeah? Would you ever sign a contract without reading what the contract says?
A lot of time we do.
He's
with Verizon.
no way, huh? Verizon?
We got Verizon.
We don't read it.
Yeah, okay. But those we think, okay, we throw. Listen, we throw out the phone and whatever. We pay $1,000. Okay, you abrogated your contract, no problem. But when we're buying up real estate property, or when we're getting into some kind of a negotiation, we get a lawyer who does what?
We just read our
Every single thing. And you know what? All the this, all that, nah, this, let's take out that. He says, how do you sign a ketubah in front of so many people? Yeah, this is a contract. So he goes, let me teach you about what a ketubah is. He says, by signing ketubah, one assumes a lifelong obligation not only to his wife, but to Hashem as well. He does this in the presence of parents, family, rabbis, and the whole congregation. This behooves him to know, what is he signing? Did you know what you were signing? I didn't do that. Sign over here. Okay, let's go. He says, look, by knowing his obligation, a chatan spares himself untold grief in the future. Much of the agony that men suffer in marriage stems from their failure to fulfill the condition of the ketubah, and therefore invoke upon themselves severe judgments from above. Do you know that if a person does, right now we're going to do hatarat nedarim tomorrow. Yeah? You know what that is? We make a promise that we don't fulfill. He says you get very, very strict, judgments on that. If you make a promise, He goes, you just signed the contract. You signed the contract, and you're not fulfilling the contract.
It's already signed in.
You're signing the contract, and you're not fulfilling. He goes, you know what kind of judgments you're getting from Hashem? He says, this is because they signed an agreement and accepted a solemn obligation, which they failed to fulfill. Ignorance about the terms of the agreement is no excuse for breaching the terms of the agreement. Imagine you come to court. Did you sign it? I did sign it. That's your name? I did. Did you look at it? I did. Everything good? Good. Why don't you do it? I didn't know. He says,
I don't know how to read.
yeah, this I don't know is not going to help you. Therefore, learning the terms and nature of the agreement is extremely important. Hidden within the ketubah are intrinsic instructions on how a husband should act, as well as hints for marital success. All right, so let's go quickly to do this. He says, the first characteristic of the ketubah that grabs our attention is that it's a one-sided ketubah. Hello? Yes. One-sided. Your wife doesn't sign anything. Only you saying, yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He says, the groom gets nothing, but gives everything. Yeah? Ring, food, clothing, necessities, livelihood, obligations, both emotional and material.
Respect.
Huh? Yeah. He promises to cherish her and obligates himself to sell the shirt off his back to meet his responsibilities. Yet, she doesn't commit to anything other than agreeing to marry him. What's going on here? You know what you're saying? My love, I'm going to take the shirt off my back to do everything for you. Will you take me? Yes. By the way, she doesn't promise you anything. He says, we see that the ketubah is a list of... Huh? No, not even that.
She
can say, I don't want it. I'm sorry. Look, we see that the ketubah is a list of husband's commitments to his wife, both on a spiritual and on the material level, signed in his own free will with a smile and an open hand. Right? That's what you do. Cheese, and he says it. Cheese. 1 second. Let's get the picture for proof that you signed it. Shikrik, right? He says, according to Kabbalah, the male is a giver and the female is the recipient. The principle is expressed in the ketubah, and it teaches us.
She standing there only with the bouquet of
Flowers.
flowers. That's it. And he puts the ring here,
Yes.
not here.
Why not? Why there? I never understood. Shooting.
You're responsible.
Everything is going to be your fault.
You're the target.
And if you're not good,
Robert, does she sign up to one? No.
No, that's what he's saying. It's a
But only
one-sided.
Remember.
No, it's, listen, this actually, I wanted to actually finish the book here, but you know what? Now that he says everything that he says, now it makes sense why he says that. He says, you're the only one responsible for everything that happens to her. And you promised her that you're going to do this. Listen to this. He says, the principle is expressed in the ketubah, and it teaches us a prerequisite to a happy and healthy married life. Just like the sun shines on the moon, the husband should be the giver, while the wife should be only the recipient. The moon, not one iota of light. Zero. Moon is like this. And the sun shines on it. Yeah? The sun shines on it and the moon reflects. He goes, that's a man. She's going to be sitting like this. Beautiful. And you got to do whatever you got to do. In front of her. That she should be happy. She should be fed. She should be this. She should be that. Listen, we can learn a lot from the animals. You know what a poor bird has to do in order for him to have a little baby from the girl bird? You ever see that? He's dancing, he's doing feathers like this, and she's standing there. I don't like you. Where's the other one? Yeah? No, I'm serious. Yeah. He says, for example, a husband must respect his wife, compliment her, and give her gifts and fulfill her needs. The wife isn't required to do anything of this matter. You hear? Excuse me. You hear what he says? You gotta give gifts. You gotta compliment her. You gotta fulfill all her needs. You gotta respect her. And she doesn't have to do anything. Why? Because she didn't write anything. She didn't say, okay, Slatkim, I also do that for you. No. He says, if a husband never forgets the rule that the male is a giver, then he'll always enjoy marital peace. You know why? Because I'm the man. I give, she receives. The notion of the male as the donor and the female as the recipient is intrinsic in creation. Says the reproduction process operates in this manner. Why did Hashem create you as a male and her as a female? He says, even in this, we see what? You're a giver and she's a receiver. Don't laugh. Yeah? He says, so as a man wants to be, oh, one second, I'm sorry. The reproductive process operates in this manner. So as soon as the man wants to be a receiving end, yeah, he's going against the grain of creation. The minute a man says, but what about my love? Where's my respect? Where's the fact that she has to give me the gift? Where's the, yeah? You know what he's saying?
It's a reflection.
You right now you want to mess around with creation. You want to change the creation. If he demands respect, attention, and other amenities, then he takes the role of a female. Since he now wants to be a recipient, when this happens, the whole household turns upside down. Two females cannot possibly connect like a male and a female. You hear? And many houses now, yesterday a guy tells me, yo, I see guys crying to their wives. He go cry, I don't, please don't leave me, don't leave me. I've seen that. What? You know how many men do that?
Oh.
Do you know how many men do that? Why is that? Why is that? Because they have female characteristics. He mentions this many times. He says the KETUBA is the husband's public declaration. With Hashem's help, I will work, cherish, feed, support you, as is the custom of Jewish men who work, cherish, feed, and support their wives faithfully. Faithfully means straightforward in truth, without shrieking responsibility or acting contemptibly, heaven forbid. Meaning, faithfully, you know what that means? Like a soldier. I will do everything regardless of what she does for me. That's what it means, faithfully. A lot of men, the minute she confronts you, you know what you do? You stop giving her money, you stop providing for her, you stop being. He says, no. You wrote down faithfully. Faithfully means no conditions. He says, later in the KETUBA, the husband accepts and assumes complete responsibility to fulfill all the obligations of the KETUBA, even if he must sell all of his assets, including the shirt of his back. He signs his name in public to these commitments, thus giving his word of honor. Imagine, this is not a joke. If this paper would be a joke, why would we do it? Rabbi comes, everybody, you cannot live without this paper. You know that, right? If your witnesses over there. So he says, why did you sign it? He says, the very first word of the KETUBA, the very first word on the KETUBA on top, it says what? With divine assistance. Yeah? It says, by invoking Hashem's help in all of his obligations, the bridegroom binds himself to emunah, the pure, complete faith in Hashem. He says, the assorted deadbeats not only fail to fulfill their solemn obligation, but they complain about the lack of faith of their wives. Typically, the holy deadbeats preach, why you? Don't you have any emunah? Remember, he said, don't tell the woman, what, you don't have emunah? You should have emunah. I can't afford this, I can't afford that. He says, you cannot tell her that. Our lack of money comes from Hashem. That's the way Hashem wants us to live. You cannot say this to your wife. He said, accept poverty with love. You cannot say this to your wife. Don't you believe that everything is for the best? The deadbeat husband doesn't provide his wife with money to pay the bills. Instead, he gives her hours of his warped sermons. Many guys, it's hard for them to make money. First of all, it's hard for them to make money because they disrespect their wives. You understand? They go against this whole foundation. It says even worse, he's angry at her for lack of trust in Hashem. Meaning he wants her to have emunah. Says, no, my friend. That doesn't go like that. It's already 10 o'clock. He says, our wise sages knew all about the proverbial deadbeats. They therefore incorporated, the clause within the KETUBA that obligates the husband to work. It says every husband must work. I hear guys saying, no, the wife should go to work also. It says nowhere does it say that she has to work. It says if you lack the wherewithal to provide for your wife in an honorable manner, then get a job. The KETUBA doesn't require you to teach your wife emunah, and certainly not on her expense. Your KETUBA says you'll work for her, cherish for her, feed her, and support your wife, and not lecture about emunah and trust. Nothing in religious law requires the wife to sign an obligation to attend her husband's lectures. Meaning, she doesn't need to hear from you anything. This, yes,
I agree with everything he's saying
good,
here,
good.
but we recently learned in the Gemara
Yeah.
that the wife has certain obligations.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Where do they come from?
Oh, very good. We're going to tackle that in a second. Let's just read this. It says the husband's commitment to cherish the wife is so important that it precedes his obligation to support her. In the KETUBA, it says cherish your wife before the support. Since the KETUBA requires him to work for, cherish, feed, and support. It says cherish, feed, and support. Why cherish is the first one? He says because cherish includes both love and respect. Our sages in their wisdom understood that a woman needs love and respect even before she needs bread and water. Can you understand this? I'll go hungry, but give me love and respect. He says even if a husband gives his wife an unlimited budget, open check, he fails to give her love and respect, he starves her soul. You tell Allah, here's $1 million, do whatever you want. She says, you take that $1 million and you throw it in your face. Suffering emotional malnutrition, she loses all joy, and her life isn't worth living with such a man. And that's why many people have everything, house, spouse, you name it. I can't live with this guy. Why? You have everything you need. No emotional support, no love. That's it. He says cherishing a wife means no comments or criticisms, and certainly not exposing her to anger and verbal abuse. Forget about verbal abuse and anger. He says you cannot comment on her. You cannot criticize her. Yeah? You don't argue with the person you cherish. When you cherish somebody, you don't argue with them. When a husband cherishes his wife, he compliments her incessantly. You know what incessantly means? You know what a person who's incessant about certain cleanliness, he can't. He's always cleaning. Oh, I gotta wash my hands. OCD. He says a person who cherishes his wife compliments her like an OCD guy. He says he ignores her faults and he focuses on her virtues. He gives her the feeling that she's the best woman on earth. Another reason that cherish comes before support is that Jewish law requires a husband not only to provide for his wife, but to do so in a respectful and loving manner. If he gives her a cashier's check for $1 million while snarling at her and hissing through his teeth, then it's worthless to her. You hear? You give her $1 million and you go like this. Nah, it was me. Yeah? To her, this $1 million is 1 cent. Kak, so much money. Everybody would go on for this. Yeah?
For her, it's nothing.
For her, it's nothing. If you give it to her with one of those nasty etsy, yeah? He says after a husband commits to cherish his wife, he obligates himself to provide all of her necessities faithfully. Faithfully means that it's not just word of mouth, but solemn commitment. It also means that he doesn't have an attitude and that he's doing her a favor. For on this condition, she agreed to marry him. Meaning, a lot of men do things as if I'm doing you a favor. It's my friend. You didn't marry her saying you're going to do a favor. You said you were going to do this unconditionally. And therefore, even if she doesn't do anything, you're supposed to do it faithfully. Faithfully also reminds the husband of the very first word that is written on top of the ketubah, with divine assistance, yeah? With faith, emunah, in the best way to invoke divine assistance. Therefore, the primary requirement of a husband is that he be a man of emunah. All of his commitments, his wife's food, clothing, necessities, and conjugal rights should all be fulfilled in a faithful manner. Be'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.